Boom!
Hey guys,
There we go.
it is Scotch for Dummies.
That worked.
We got to figure it out. It's Scotch for Dummies -1, a very important one. The guy that makes all the technical stuff work.
We can push the button.
So, yes, first off, before we get too far, thank you, Krista, for making this happen, setting up the stream and everything. We are live. I think we've got, we'll wait and see if we've got good audio, good video from some comments in the comments. But happy Thursday, gents.
Happy
Cheers,
Thursday.
Oh,
What
man.
are we starting off with? A little Balvenie
Yeah, we killed one.
12
Oh,
single barrel?
Zebra down?
Yep, that one's
Down.
gone. So we had one that needed to go.
Yeah.
So,
Maybe a little bit too strong for what we're getting ready to do. But, you know
Nah, it's
what?
fine.
I feel
Totally
great.
fine.
I feel warmed up.
I mean, it's got light flavors. It's
Yeah.
It's not.
it's a bigger ABV, but it's not anything like peated or crazy. So I think it's a good warm up for what we got going.
And we've been kind of nursing it on the pre-show with the patrons for the past hour, so it's not like we're killing our palates here.
Look at this.
But
Who's the guy on the right?
this guy,
He's back.
Gregor's like, what's that? It's good to see you, brother.
Yep.
So Drew is out of town. He might show up in the chat somewhere if he's bored. Who knows? I would keep an eye out for him. But let's say hi to a couple folks who's here first, and then we're gonna dive right into a new category before we get to the category as advertised.
we got
All
two
right,
hills.
So we got 2 hills. We're like, we got a local maximum and another local maximum, not the overall.
That's true. And Michael is saying that Port Charlotte to take this ballot. That was what's advertised on the thumbnail. That is the main event. But we do have a, what do they call it?
Undercard.
An undercard.
We got
Yes,
an
the
undercard.
undercard tonight is
It's
a
the
new
welterweight.
So this is Francois. I think it's Port Charlotte as well.
I see Trevor. Oh,
Talisker. Yeah,
well,
all right.
you're not rooting for the underdog. That's the current reigning champ. It's the belt holder.
And that's the one you know,
like
so go for
Talisker
it.
too.
See? Yeah, this is good.
My
I like to
gosh.
see this. Stephen Rogers, good evening, sir.
Who else we got?
Oh, Mark down at the camp. We were just talking about you, Mark.
Hey, Mark.
Getting things ready, we heard.
Fi-
Sean said fishing.
I heard fishing. Yeah.
I like the way you get stuff ready, my friend.
Hey, Steve A, Pierre, Chad, Zach, George,
Chuck,
man.
yeah, all of our pre-show guys.
And in this corner. And we got 4 corners tonight.
Bob H, I talked to him earlier. He's out of town for work too, so he's logging in from a hotel somewhere. He smuggled a little 4-ounce pour, so he's got something good.
Sean's here.
How'd he smuggle that?
I think he drove down.
Oh, well, that's his fair.
Not like prison wallet.
I mean, he still put it in his prison wallet, but
Oh,
he didn't have to. That's just how
Just while he
that's
was
just how he
driving.
travels.
Zach, Matthew, Travis is here.
Oh,
She
boy.
here.
Hey, Dina. I see Matthew. I see a lot of people saying Talisker. So
Matthew says Talisker for the
I
win.
will tell you guys, I am not sure about what's going to win that one, to be honest
An
with
old
you.
man boomer.
Because I like
All the
both.
way. All right.
Right. Let's remember, it's not just about the peat there. It's about what's
The
going
balance
on.
and the
all
flavor
that stuff.
profile and all that stuff. And these are both good bottles. Like,
I agree.
good
Absolutely.
bottles.
Just to be fair, when we get to this Talisker is not the Talisker 10 that we drank on the last King of the Hill. I grabbed the wrong bottle from Sean's house, or from Drew's house. So that bottle, that opened one, is still on Drew's bar. This is a
Don't tell Drew.
this was a brand new one. So it was it's first opened tonight, neck pour, as well as this is brand new. So it's pretty fair. These both have been opened for the same amount of time.
Just about an hour, yeah. So new bottles. But let's hit the undercard first.
The undercard. What's going on in the undercard? We needed another category to really get this going. This is the blend category. Now, the blend category is probably going to be a little bit more broad, but we're starting off with very like bottles, right? So we have Chivas 12 and we've got Dealers 12. I mean, we're talking 2 blends, 12-year-olds. They've got age statements, which is cool. The ABVs, just to be fair, is 40%, and I think this one's 43.
We don't have a Dram Cam tonight, but
Where's the ABV?
I'm
They're both
gonna-
40.
I'm kind of excited about this particular King of the Hill like matchups, just because blends are like what most people drink.
Absolutely.
Like, single malts are not
by volume, blends are significantly higher. I mean, like order
90%.
of magnitude higher than
Yeah.
all the single malts that we've been drinking.
And let's talk about it. Chivas 12 is not unpopular by any means. There's a ton of this stuff that gets produced and shipped around the world. Well, I mean, it is definitely in the same ballpark as a Johnny Walker, right? It
Oh, yeah.
With as far as volume. This Dealers 12, you're going to find Dewar's on every domestic flight in the United States. I
But
mean, it's
Not
popular.
Dewar's 12 though.
It's
Probably
Dewar's white, right?
Dewar's
But I
white,
mean,
yeah.
Dewar's is not some slouch either. Been around
No.
forever and a day. I'm excited to see where these two do. And another thing is they're both readily available. Any liquor store, any shelf. Price point's the same, which I don't even remember what it was. I didn't even pay attention because I was, we were doing this.
All right, I'm going to start with the yellow sticker.
We don't know
Yeah.
which one's which. We just know we have a yellow and a red sticker. I honestly don't think I'll be able to tell you which one is which because
No,
I
not
don't
sure.
know them well enough.
No,
It's
I
not-
No.
In the past, I've enjoyed both these. I think I remember enjoying Shiva's better, but again, I've never put these side by side or paired them up, so I don't really know. But the
In-
yellow,
In
right.
previous matchups, we've been able to be like, oh, that's the McKellen. And tonight we might be that way with these two. You might be able to say that's the Port Charlotte because it's got more phenol. But in this matchup, I think I'm really blind here.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I think this will be a true. Because I don't generally, if I'm drinking a blend, it's probably Monkey Shoulder and Naked Grouse, and not.
Nothing
That
wrong with
is-
either of those. And that's what
So-
I meant about broad on this category. There's going to be some non-ages that work their way into this. It's undoubtable because it's the blend category and there's a lot of non-age statement blends. So what did you get out
So
of
the
that?
first one, I got some maltiness. I got a little bit of grain nose, but that's what you expect. It's real pleasant, real light. It smells good. It smells like it tastes good.
Yeah.
I didn't taste it, so we'll go from there. And the other one, it has a red sticker on it, so we'll be talking between yellow and red.
There's not as much grain as I would have
No, you're right.
thought. It's got a nice malty sweetness to it. It's not bad.
This one I think has more.
To be
maltiness.
honest with you,
Less
the
grain.
grain that's there, I actually am enjoying. I actually enjoy
It's
that
not-
nose.
Yeah, it's not like acetone and acrid and no.
Right.
This-
There's a different. It's not malt forward, but it's not like bad grain forward either.
No. And it looks a little bit paler compared to the other.
Yeah, try. So the red sticker, I think it's much sweeter on the nose. It smells like it's got some sherry influence in it. I'm not getting nearly as much grain on the nose.
Oh.
It's
That's actually very pleasant.
so you tasted the yellow.
I wouldn't call it overly complex, but that's not really what I was looking for in this particular category. But it tastes like it smells. Like I get a little bit of grain on the back end. It's got a nice malty
Are these
note
the
up
same?
front.
Yeah, it would be good in a mixer. I mean, it's
Yeah.
not a sipping whiskey. I'll tell you that
But-
right up front.
But I will say it's got a nice malt up front.
It
It
does.
fades into a grain note, on the finish, but it's got nice malty sweetness up front. I mean, it's decent.
Yeah, I mean-
like I wouldn't.
I'm getting any smoke in it. If anything,
Maybe
it's very light, but
Honestly, I get this yellow. There's a richness to it, and at the back of the palate, right coming into the finish, I kind of got a little bit of a toasted marshmallow note.
okay, yeah, it's a really light sweet whiskey. I would say that, I think it would be great in like with some tonic water or something like that.
That one, I like that one much better.
So
I like that one much better.
So you tried the red.
It's a little bit, I think, sweeter, maltier, better mouthfeel, more well-rounded.
Yes. The red has a much richer palate, much more viscous palate, less grain influence. But I mean, it's a blend, so there got to be heavy grain. I think they're adding some better casking or something to the. Ooh, I'm getting a little on the finish. I'm getting a little bit of smoke on the red. A little bit.
Well, I'm ready to call it.
So hang on, man. Let's.
I mean, I don't think we need to overthink it too much.
No, but there's definitely a difference in mouthfeel in these scotches, and the flavor is definitely there. I need to go. I've only had a sip of one each.
You shoot from the hip.
You're not even. Sean's done. Where's he speed dramming it? Son?
Right, Sean's like done and done. You don't get a second chance for
Well,
first impression.
But here's the thing. Like, to me, these scotches are. It is a entry level, blended scotch. you're not going to get overly like I'm going to go back into both of them, take a little sip, but I'm not planning on getting any notes that I didn't get the first time.
No, you're not going to get like
I'll say
lavender and sunflower, you know. Or
No, it's
We can
kind of
say-
like you know, we're going to have some caviar over here, and you can sample those, and we're also having the bologna sampling.
the bologna.
Bologna's not bad. We're not talking about.
I'm not saying
The
that,
bologna.
but I'm not looking for complex flavors in the bologna sampler either.
I'm not going to say these are entry level blends. These are 12 age. These actually have age statements on
No, it's no Johnny Walker Red.
them. Right. But they're not 21-year-old blends,
No.
right? I get you on that. But I want to give them a fair shot.
I mean, I honestly, the yellow was very nice. I'm glad I tried that one first because I'm not sure if I would have tried the red first if I would have been as
Oh, so take a sip of the red and then go backwards. See what it tastes like.
because this one is the lighter of the two.
Yeah, sure.
It just is. Flavor profile, the sweetness is still there, the maltiness is still there. I don't get quite as much of the grain on the second time around. It's there on the very back end of the finish. To me, it gives it like a little bit of a bitter, like dark chocolatey, tannic quality to it. But the red just has a little bit more, and I mean, we're talking splitting hairs here, right? Like it's
No,
not
I
like I'm
think-
like
I
this
think-
tastes like a
I think
30-year-old
the red.
Scotch.
No, well, of course. I think the red is a different level. Than the
Really?
yellow. I think it's got better mouthfeel. It just coats better. It's a thicker. Yeah.
I would say if I had to guess that the red has a little bit more malt in it versus grain.
And maybe more sherry cask or something
Yeah,
that
it's-
sweetens it up.
It's got a little bit of
It has a richer flavor to it.
yeah.
I am.
The red's
We're drinking
good.
different whiskey, guys. I think it doesn't matter. I think I'm a losing battle. I'm the.
Do you like the yellow?
Yeah, I do.
Talk me into it.
So I honestly, I think that
Okay.
Let me back up
Yep.
and reset the palate, and we'll
Oh,
walk
boy.
our way through this. Honestly, I really am struggling against what you guys are saying because I'm feeling the exact same way against flipping the glasses.
All right. Look
All right,
what
all right.
Gregor has to say. So fair point. Fair point. Now, but there's only one of these. Is yours.
I don't know.
I mean, you know, when in
mean,
Rome, I guess. I don't know.
What's your options? You're just gonna grab a bunch of vodkas and screwdriver at home. I mean, come on, man. It wasn't that bad.
No.
Come on.
It makes a great, well, actually,
All right,
you
so
can make a whiskey sour out of it.
let's talk.
right.
Yellow, red.
Yellow red.
There's no water on these.
Yeah, I don't think we need.
I
water.
really like that. This has got. I kind of want to say a pork rind note on the nose. There's something that I like about it.
Pork rind.
You don't like pork rinds?
I love pork rind.
Damn, my kill bag.
So far, you're not selling this to me. So
So
what else
honestly,
you got?
This one's there's a little bit more of a now on the back. I get those that roasted marshmallow. There's some kind of a barbecue edge that's in there that I really like.
That there is a little bit of like a roasted sweetness going on in this one, and it's a lighter glass to me.
Yeah.
I wish I were getting the malt forward that you're getting on that nose. I'm not. It really.
Are you still COVID compromised?
No, I'm way behind. I'm past that.
You're not getting any sweetness on that. Like,
I get some sweetness, but I get just as much grain forward on it.
boy,
And
oh
I'm
my
not saying
God.
bad. I'm not saying it's like, oh my God, this is, some horrible grain that I don't want to drink. But let me taste it. Did you taste this one?
I've tasted
Okay.
it twice. I know what I'm doing.
I'm getting more grain on the red now
Get you some.
than I was, but I'm ready.
Right mid palate. This has got a nice robustness to
The
it.
yellow.
Yes. And not initial. It says that as you're swallowing it down, you get a nice full flavor. And then I get a little bit of that marshmallow. No, that's sweet. Now hang on. Let me come
All right,
back to this.
all right.
And let's go
He's
to the
going back
red.
he's going back to the red.
Okay, coming off of the palate on the yellow, the red doesn't smell as bad. You see what I'm saying? That helps the red. Usually after you've had something to drink, it helps your nose. But
Yep. Okay.
Sean Peak, bologna sandwiches and pork rinds and a Scotch review. Very nice.
and there we go. Hey, we've taken fishing trips where the meal was fried.
You have come to a classy sketch review.
Barbecue
my friend.
fried.
This is what Scotch for Dummies is all about.
So, yes, the red I think is a little bit stronger. It's a little bit more potent, even though they're both 40%. I like the yellow right now in this moment. I like them both. I'll drink them both. And honestly, sure, they're fine with mixers. I drink it neat. I'm okay with either one of these. And if you guys don't want them neat, I'll take them back to my house and I'll drink them playing Xbox. It's cool, no big deal.
I would do the red.
You would do the red.
Maybe neat.
Okay.
I mean, I've got a lot of other whiskey, so probably.
Well, at the end of the day, you know, to enter the ring, one's got to win. There's 3 of us by design. Even when there's 4 of us, one has to abstain. So with this can't end in a tie. It is what it is, you guys.
Red.
Doesn't matter.
There you go. There you go.
But if you guys are keeping score at home, I said yellow, and it doesn't matter in this moment.
But I will say, before you make the big reveal.
Stunned.
Yeah? You went Doers.
I went Doers 12.
All day.
Doers 12 takes down Chivas.
So the Chivas bottle has a yellow sticker, and that blows me away. The red bottle.
The Regal goes down.
Now, I will say.
No way.
That was interesting.
You flipped those stickers, didn't you?
Right in front of you.
I mean, honestly, I didn't know which was
gosh.
which. And I was kind of surprised that I actually didn't mind either one.
No,
They were
I don't
both
mind
actually
either one of
pretty
them.
good glasses. So that was fun.
In that vein, honestly, we've done, I don't know, we got four categories now of King of the Hill. And we've done a couple in a few of them. So we've done probably 6 of these, maybe 7 of these. And every one I found to be interesting and enjoyable. I'm like, holy crap. I'm surprised that's the way it came out.
It makes you pay attention to the glass itself.
Right.
And you're judging the whiskey by the whiskey.
Right.
And you don't know what it is, and it's fun.
But it's funny when
Never would have picked that.
when the reveal is and in the back of your mind you're like, oh, I was picking Chivas on this. I know Chivas is better. And then the reveal comes and you're like, oh, damn. My palate thinks different.
Well, yeah, that's the thing about doing it blind.
Exactly. So
Wow.
that's cool.
All right.
So we have a winner in the new category of blends. Deers 12 is the current standing king of
This
the hill.
goes down.
There you go.
Chivas
Can't
Regal
believe
is
it.
over.
All right. Well, you can take that one to your house.
Oh, I get to take a champ. No,
And
I'm going
now-
to keep that one. Oh, I get to take Chivas.
Yeah, that was one you liked.
I'm down
My
with that.
wheelhouse is up.
All right.
So
Dun,
let's
dun, dun.
let's talk about this. Man, off the top of my head, can we pull up the spreadsheet to see who Talisker has defeated? You'd think I'd have this dedicated memory. It's only been like 2
It beat
fights.
Lefroy 10, which beat our Big 10.
There you go. Why isn't okay? I'm done with this.
We could, but
I feel like you're doing it wrong.
Yeah,
yeah, we
forget
don't
it.
need it.
It's all right.
So we started with Ardbeg 10
Lefroy.
and Lefroy 10. Lefroy won there.
Yep.
Lefroy 10 went up against Talisker. Talisker won.
So this is a tough category to stay on top of the
It
hill.
is. And to be
Yeah.
quite honest with you, both of those fights did not end the way I anticipated them going in.
Me either.
I really thought Ardbeg would take Lefroy 10. I just, in my heart, that's the way I felt. And it didn't happen. And then I didn't think Talisker stood a damn chance. And there she is.
There she is, yeah.
Whatever.
You just never know, right?
So interesting. Let's talk about what we've got going on. The current champ. Well, let's talk about the contender.
Okay.
Contender. This is your wheelhouse.
Yeah.
Andrew. Talk us up.
Tough kid.
So we got Port Charlotte. This is the peated version from Brooklotti, essentially. Heavily peated, they call it. 10-year-old. What's the ABV on it? I've looked that up.
Heavily peated, they allege. Is that what you're talking about?
50% ABV. So that's kind of not
A little bit of cheat here.
a little bit fair, not unfair, because Talisker is like 46 or something, isn't it?
Yeah,
And I don't have a number.
Close enough.
it says it
Yeah, well, I'm sure it does, but I
right here. 45.
45.8. So it's a little bit higher ABV, but I've heard good things about Port Charlotte. So
We did look it up during the pre-show, and I guess this Port Charlotte is supposedly 50 phenols.
yeah, 50 ppm roughly.
And the Talisker is in the 20s. So
That was Kilhome.
oh, it was Kilhoman. You're right.
We
So
looked that up. So
that'd be a good thing to know. Now let's talk about ABVs and peat. It's commonly known, at least
Yeah.
amongst us,
At least among Andrews.
among the Andrews and
Dr.
yeah,
Scotches.
Dr. Scotches, that when you have a peated whiskey, the ABV is less important. The phenols kind of coat your palate and things, so it doesn't have the bite like a high ABV
Sure.
Highland would have, because the phenol will help manage that. So, while I don't know that it will bite like 50 or bite like 46 or 48, the peat, it will, you do get more potent whiskey. So that higher ABV does come with all the other flavors too. So you may have more peat in there, you may have more sherry in there, you may have more malt in there because of that higher ABV. So we're going to understand that here.
But at least it's not like 40% versus like 55%.
That's correct.
Like they're reasonably
within
close.
a
They're in the
couple percent.
ballpark.
That shouldn't matter.
So we've been talking quite a bit. I haven't looked at the comments. I want to go do a quick scan on the comments to see what's the odds on this fight right now. I mean, obviously we have a champ, and I think we've got a pretty solid contender, number one contender. I don't know in my heart what's going to happen.
So if I look at the comments, most people were stunned that no, there's no way. So Michael is going to have to try a Dewar's 12. Yeah, you do, because I was stunned. I thought
would
Chivas
have
was gonna win.
picked Chivas all day long. And that's why we're doing blind.
Exactly.
Scotch on the Bayou doesn't believe it either. Well,
I'll be honest with you. So I picked Chivas, but I'm not ashamed to say that Dewar's won. I see why it did. It was, to me, it was splitting hairs. You said that, and so fair.
But the funny thing is, there's already comments coming up. Who's next? Artist Blind?
Oh yeah.
JW Black.
You know who should be next? I was thinking about this bottle the other day.
Monkey Shoulder?
Old Par.
Oh my God.
Oh,
Yeah.
Par. Don't we have one?
No, we drank it.
Oh, we finished it. That's
So
right.
there's a ton in that category, and yeah, we could go straight to one that we brag about all the time, Monkey Shoulder. But you know what? There's a lot to get through out there. This is going to be a fun category.
Yeah, it'll actually be entertaining. I'm looking forward to this. All right, so we either brought
so
ABV to a peat fight.
Yep.
Or.
But I will agree with Gregor on this point. ppm is at the grain level. That's essentially worthless.
Yep.
Because it has nothing to do with your mashing process. It has nothing to do with your distillate process. They don't measure ppm in the can.
It's on the front end, not.
It's so far in the front end, it's kind of worthless. I would
Man,
agree
leave
with
it to a
Gregor.
Scotsman to point that shit out. Damn,
He's right.
he's a genius.
He's right.
All right, man.
All right.
Yeah,
let's
grab
dive
it
in.
back in the
So-
bottle.
Port Charlotte, it's a favorite, but we're gonna find out.
All right, so
Let's do this.
I have no idea. We got blue and yellow. We don't know what's on the bottom of these bottles. You are doing blue up front.
I smell peat.
So we
I
can
am
mix them up with
Sweetness
the.
and yeah, this is the Dewar's 12.
I'm not going to pay attention to color because the goal isn't to figure out which one's which. The goal is to figure out which one you enjoy in this moment. You went straight in. You nosed and tasted.
Man,
Andrew doesn't
there's
usually
some
do that.
flavor in there.
Usually
No, I'm
that's-
following
that's
Sean's
a Sean
lead.
technique.
That's a Sean lead.
I mean, we already smelled it. Let's get in
Oh
there.
my gosh,
I gotta be
rich.
honest. I get cinnamon
Yeah.
underneath it.
Palate has it.
I
too.
get cinnamon underneath that.
Like a red hot.
Yes, I didn't want to say it because I wanted to see if you would come up with the exact same definition.
Yep.
There's a red hot in that glass.
Ooh, that one's briny. Seaweed.
Yeah, boy, I like that. Hang on.
That one has a nice peaty nose, but it's sweet and rich and flavorful. This yellow dot.
Ooh, that yellow
is
dot.
briny
Nice.
seaweed.
That's nice.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. That's really good. It's so it's got the sweetness. It's got
The blue.
the cinnamon note is there, but it's not hot or spicy. It's just kind of like well flavored with cinnamon.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So it's kind of an underlying current to all of it, but the sweetness carries through, and then it's got like a barbecue note that comes in and kind of overwhelms the cinnamon. It's just a really nice glass, very well put together. Everything flows well.
I would agree. The richness of that is exquisite. You
So-
get it,
So-
yellow?
I just hit the blue.
Okay. What do you
Absolutely
think?
right. Yes. I gotta be honest. At first, I thought there was gonna be too much cinnamon, and then another note came in over the top of it, and it did blend really well. And then I was really into it. I was like, "Oh, I love it." And then cinnamon came back, and now that's all I have on the finish. And it's a little bit overwhelming to me. We'll see.
Yeah.
Um,
Definitely cinnamon on that.
There's more cinnamon than I completely anticipated. I mean, even on the nose, I'm like, wow, I haven't had a dram like that in a long time.
See, to me, the blue is. So I tried the yellow, and the yellow to me has almost a youthful sweetness about it.
Yep. I would
Um,
agree.
I think that the peat is a little bit. I don't want to say it's stronger, but it seems like it's a narrow lane. Instead of being like a full mouth full of peat,
Yes.
it's like this like alleyway full of peat, right?
Yeah.
And it's not. I don't think as complex as the other one. It's got a lot less going on underneath it, but the stuff that it does have, it's like here you go.
Well,
and it's bigger.
Yeah, and the yellow, I'm also, it feels more refined. It's got that briny kind of coastal quality. In fact, it popped in my head as the finish was rolling past, like pretzels. I mean, so you get the kind of the bready maltiness and the salt, and it really is a delightful dram.
Yeah, I got some white pepper, like it popped on the finish.
Absolutely. You definitely have notes of the coast. That thing has been sitting next to some salt somewhere.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I'm not as blind as I was going into this, right? And I don't think any of us are. I think I think we could definitely tell you which one is which. Not important here. They're very interesting. I'm blown away by the blue. Not what I expected from that bottle, not knowing that that's what the dram was, but now in my head, I think I do. I haven't had it in so long. I'm just taken back. I don't even know. I was like, wow, that's what's in that bottle.
All right, so let's go backwards.
I will say they are very unique. Like they have their own separate styles.
Oh, yeah, totally.
They're very. It's not going to be like I'm peated, like whatever, man. Just grab me something off the shelf. Like to me, these two are very
Different.
unique, and they fit a separate niche.
So let's go back through yellow after you've tasted yellow, so it's not tainted by the blue.
Man, this got a great nose. It's got a great balanced nose. I get a little bit of that peat that I want, but I got some of that freaking Scottish coast, man. It's all in there.
And there's a level of sweetness in that second sip too that really comes up.
I kind of like the white pepper coming out of nowhere.
It's not a bad dram.
God, there is a sweetness underneath it. Now, much more than was on the first sip.
Well, it's not as sweet as the first one. So in contrast, they fight each other. So you need to kind of taste one, then taste the other, then taste. You got to kind of double your sips so you get a clean palate for that one.
Okay, so are we going to do the same for the blue?
Mm-hmm.
Because afterwards, what I want to do is put 5 or 6 drops on them.
Yep.
Pete's involved here. Put the lids back on. See what they're all saying about what we're talking about.
Yep.
Let that water do its thing. Come back and see. Because although I'm pretty confident I can tell you what's in which glass, I gotta be honest. It's we got ourselves another bout going on.
I don't know which I like better.
Honestly, this really will come down to your mood and preference on the night, right?
Bingo.
Like I feel like if it was a hot night and I wanted something peated, but I didn't want something heavy, yellow would be my bag, right? Like because it's got a nice sweetness. It's not overly cloying or like it gives you some sweet, gives you some peat. You have all those elements, but it doesn't weigh you down. Like the finish is clean. Like I enjoy that glass, and it's got a lot of good stuff going on. Whereas the blue to me, and I want to try this one again, but it had a much more robust mouthfeel to me, and it had a lot of like underlying like hints of this and that. And so I feel like that dram would be for like a night where I wanted to really think and pay attention to my dram, or a cold night where I wanted something heavy and warming.
Yeah, something on the fire.
I gotta be honest. How long have we been at this one? This fight? 5-10 minutes.
Yeah.
So the nose on this one is changing, and I'm not surprised when you get peat involved. It starts to waft off. It starts to change, evolve in front of you. It's already there. It definitely is different on the nose. It's getting more interesting to me on the nose. It's getting more like, oh man, it's it definitely doesn't have that cinnamon. That cinnamon's gone.
See, I'm still getting that. That's the thing that maybe you've tainted my palate, but my concern is that is weakening for me right now.
This one is.
After taking a couple sips of yellow, the red is not as strong, not as good as I initially thought it was. After tasting, yeah.
So I won't disagree. The cinnamon is not as prevalent, that's for sure, on the nose and on the palate. But it also, I think its knees just buckled. I think it just,
it's going down.
We got ourselves an 8th or 9th round buckling. And now he didn't hit the canvas.
No.
But it's enough for the judges to go, "Whoa, what's going on here?" But we're gonna put some water on this. I mean, the bell's gonna ring, and everybody's gonna get a chance to put some Vaseline on their face and listen to say something for the sequel, Rocco. But
Adrian.
All right, some water, Andrew. Let's a little bit.
I will totally agree with your assessment on the blue. It is wafted off a little bit.
Bingo.
The peat is not as prevalent. The sweetness is still there. I still get the cinnamon, but that first sip, I was like, "This is delicious." And now I'm like, yellow might have a shot.
A little tarnish in the armor.
I feel like it's just the yellow is holding up better over time, and the other is just kind of like the phenols are wafting off a little quicker. It's losing a little bit of its cohesion compared to the yellow, which
I can't read.
Initially, I was like, it's just this narrow lane, but it's holding the lane and it's doing the same thing over and over.
It's really good at that lane.
So it's consistency. It's standing true here.
It's not doing a haymaker. It's lots of little hits and it's doing it consistently.
All right, so DBC is paying for some ad space.
Oh my God!
Oh no!
Oh my God! Is that where you've been, darling? I'm so sorry.
So
I've been wondering where you've been. We've kind of missed you. I haven't seen you as prevalent or as much.
Yeah. So my wife got her shingles vaccine recently. But it knocked her for a loop for a day or two. I know Drew's wife did the same. She got knocked for a loop. Maybe we need to do that.
That's one I'm definitely considering. I don't want to be doing that.
They need to sneak up on you though with trank gun.
I'll just shut my eyes. Let's get it over with. Thank you for the super chat, D. Love you. I hope you feel better and get through it. But cheers.
All right, so we got water on these, right?
Yeah, but I want to go through a couple of comments and see what everybody's been saying about this. I saw Mark Gentry said, "Cut me, Mick."
Well, they were beating him up. Greg was beating him up, and everybody was beating him up.
So what's going on here?
Wait. Oh, no.
Here, you're dry. I don't have my glasses on. I can't read those comments too well. No, because they reflect.
All right. So we got up here. So Scotch and Bias calling Talisker.
Totally agree with Gregor. What's Gregor got to say? Time for Dram says he already passed him a couple times. So yep.
Oh yeah. Okay.
There was another comment below that he keep going right there. Port Charlotte could sneak this. Okay.
He's richer.
So Zach says is all right. So there's a lot of PC10s coming in here, guys. And Whiskey Nose wants us to go straight to Monkey Shoulder, which is definitely going to be a contender in our world. You know that.
I got that big bottle. Big monkeys.
See, wine lights like that. PC, yeah.
PC, the special releases, like not fair in this fight, but you're right.
Yeah, we already got that one. Sorry.
So I see Scotch on the buy. I see Leanne's the only one calling for Talisker here. Wait, Gregor says if Talisker wins, you get 5 drams instead of the 4 I planned. Huh.
All right.
Mark, wait. Mark says his girlfriend is home tonight, so he can drink while watching.
That's Michael. Yeah.
Look,
all right.
How about that? Cheers to that, brother. I'll drink with you.
Yeah, Talisker's become a premier dram, but continues to get overlooked. I would somewhat. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Look at that.
You know, I think I'm not going to show any bias in this fight, but Talisker is a little bit special to Scotch for Dummies. It was the first review of our existence. Well, it was a distiller's edition.
It was the first flight we ever did.
Oh yeah, it sure was.
Look what Stuff Works says. Ginger and orange for the tip.
Ooh.
And it's interesting. Like, there's so many things that affect this. It's crazy.
He says ginger.
Ginger and orange.
All right, well, let's give it a shot.
So we got water on this.
We don't know which is which, though.
This is
which one should we get that on?
This is going to change. We put water on it. We're trying to give this a few minutes to see what's going on.
And everybody's got an opinion on this one. This is good, man.
This is
all
fun.
right. All right. All right.
So wait a minute. Let's talk about this
Trevor?
flight. You said we did a flight. We went to a whiskey event. I don't even remember what it was, but God,
it was before our channel.
That was
long before our
dude, we
channel.
were geeking out. Didn't know a damn thing about
We were
Scotch.
dummies at the time.
I mean, we walked into there. We're just like, oh, you hear angels singing and shit.
We're trying to try everything.
We went through a flight of Talisker. We signed up for the VIP, got to sit on, and they did Storm, 10, 18, 25, and 30. Is that right?
I think there was one more.
Distillers edition.
No, they didn't
it was-
even have distillers
no, they
edition
didn't-
back
yeah.
then, I don't think.
So
I think there was 6.
I remember us going through this, and they progressively got better. You know, it was the Storm, the 10, then the 18, and we were like, oh man, shit is
Coming
getting
up
good.
on some good stuff.
And then we hit the 25, right? And we're like, oh, something happened. Wheel fell
It-
off.
It didn't taste like the same distillery. Like it was like briny in an uncomfortable way.
From 18 to 25 was a bad no. I mean, I felt like we took a wrong turn. Are we lost? Check the GPS.
And then 30 brought it right back.
And then all of a sudden we
It
go
was
to
great.
30 and we were home. We were like, well, damn, we made it. That shit was good.
And we've tried it since then, and no, we were right. We called it right.
I hate to say it. I have seen 25 on a shelf or on a website, and for some reason, I will never buy it because of that experience. Is that fair? Probably not. But 18, yes. 30, of course. Well, if I can afford it, let's be honest.
Yeah,
Right? But
nobody
it's a
can
different
afford that
story.
much.
But anyway,
Dude,
Talisker's-
I just went back to the blue
and
and tasted it, and I'm not getting cinnamon. I'm getting
Okay.
like a little bit of pork barbecue, but I'm getting a much lighter gram. Well balanced,
So
better balanced.
the water helped out the yellow quite a bit. Like quite a bit.
It's even better.
Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
I would say
It's
the blue is better too, but
I always like when you put water on these drams to see if
The
the
nose is
peat
much-
comes back up or if it thins out and you don't really get as much. And the yellow, it brought it right back out. Big, like mouth coating feel. It's almost richer and deeper than it was neat.
interesting. So blue, no cinnamon on the nose. Much softer. Definitely much more of a bourbon cask influence. I get a lot more of that vanilla underlying on it. It's much softer, maybe a little bit of your pork that you were talking about, but no cinnamon on the nose.
Oh. I would agree with Sean. That yellow is next level.
Blue is a lot sweeter and good on the palate.
It is. I agree.
It-
It's sweet.
water did blue good.
Is it?
Try the yellow.
Yeah.
I will.
I haven't
will.
even tried the blue yet, but
I will.
I nosed it. I nosed that one.
So the yellow, I think you're right. The peat kind of blossomed. I would say it's better balanced in there. Well, I don't know if it's better balanced. It is more potent than it was before. I think the brininess kind of came down,
Yes.
but the peat, sweetened up into more of the barbecue kind of flavor than before.
I want to put up some of this now you know comments. Look at Wrecking Crew. Believe it or not. I don't know if you believe it or not, but I love these kind of things, man. Okay. Good for that guy.
I will say the blue, the nose didn't really do it for me with the water.
Really?
But the palate is very nice.
What about, so it didn't
It
have
just-
the cinnamon note on the nose. What
It
about
just
it?
seemed
You
lighter.
lose the peat.
It just
Yeah.
came.
You lose
Well,
the pee on the nose.
time out. Let's talk about that. Water is going to have that effect, but it's also been time. We're talking about time.
Try that yellow.
You get some funk on that.
I know.
You get some funk
But
on the yellow.
It was peatier. Time's going to kill that peat.
Agreed.
The more off soft, and then we put water on it.
They were
too.
open the same amount of time.
I know.
Put about the same amount of water in each one.
Okay.
Now I will say on the palate, there's still plenty of peat. There's a nice sweetness. It's well balanced.
On the blue,
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna have
I will-
a real hard time making a call on this, to
hang
be
on.
honest with you.
Water on the yellow. You're absolutely right. There's a funk. I mean, this almost has a Campbelltown funk. I mean, seriously, like what island is this from? I don't know. I mean, is this from the Penis? I don't know. This is a little bit different.
Isn't that weird?
Oh, Tom.
Tom,
Look at that guy. Where were you on the pre-show, buddy? I vote for King of the Flavored Whiskeys. Jameson Orange versus Screwball.
Hey, that's not a bad idea. Can you think how many hits
we-
we'll get if we put
We've
Screwball
got the
on
winner
there?
down here somewhere.
Tom,
right-
you
right
need to come
there,
down
man.
here and do that one with us.
Yeah,
We
There
got
you go.
chicken. We got chicken cock.
Pack up the Tesla and get down here.
we already know what's going to win.
Chicken cock. gonna win
Okay,
that.
so I got to be honest. That
All right.
how do I judge this? Is this good or bad when I say that water really changed the nose?
You know, it's not bad.
I
It can be good or
Did
bad.
it turn it bad or turn it
well,
good?
no, I enjoy it. But that's Mark. I'm like, whoa, I dig that. I love that in a
Well, I'm
Scotch.
not asking you to
when
to
you get
talk
funky.
for
when
you-
Leanne.
You got to pick, man.
You gotta talk for you. All right, so I gotta nose these. both again.
Mm.
So the blue has a much sweeter nose now.
Yes.
Maybe I do get some orange on that now. I don't get ginger, but it's sweeter.
How the hell
sickly.
is water going to make yellow more potent,
Oh,
more
God.
strong, more full bodied, more rich?
Yeah, you get
And actually
funkiness.
pull out some cinnamon. I
Yeah.
had cinnamon on blue.
I still get cinnamon on blue.
So I will say before he added water, blue was a maybe not. It was marginally better with palate, but I would say that the yellow definitely pulled away after water. It just has a much broader palate. Am I right? Tell me I'm wrong. That's fine. Let's talk through this. Who likes blue
I mean, to be fair, I like them both, but I'm trying to decide
tonight?
how I'm going to discern which one I like better. Because
Correct.
they're different styles of whiskey. And I would reach for both of them, but I don't, I've got to pick which one I'm going to pick tonight.
This is a
Right?
peated category.
Oh, I might have the last sip here on blue. So, if there's any chink in the armor of yellow that I can say, after the water, which the water did wonders on the nose, it got it funky, it got it interesting. I loved it. The finish was even more salty, if you will. It was almost too briny.
Oh,
It was close. I was like, whoa, what? Hang on.
Oh,
So
did
I'm
it
going to
go
give
bad?
this last
Did
sip of
it go
blue.
bad for you on the
No,
finish?
it didn't go bad, but it was just more prevalent than neat, which we're getting close to being, almost to the point where, this is too salty. I can only handle 1 dram, and I don't want to be in that category.
I'm going to make my pick while you're taking your last sip.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So I've had a real trouble with this one. But I think I'm going to go with blue, and here's why. I liked yellow. I liked it a lot. Andrew's shaking his head, but I'm going to tell him why he's wrong.
He's wrong.
So I really enjoyed yellow. I thought that it was nice, but it was kind of a one-trick pony, right? Like it had a lane that it stayed in, and it did that lane very well. I thought blue offered just a little bit more broad base.
Keep
And
in mind, this is the peated category.
I realize that. my
Whoa,
friend.
whoa.
However, I will say first initial sip, I liked blue. I thought yellow was kind of pedestrian. And then I went back and tried it a second sip.
Yep.
And yellow was holding up a little better. And then we added the water.
Mhm.
And I really thought yellow's going to take this. Blue's going to get hit with that water and disappear. And that's going to be the end. And I even thought that when we tried the first sip of the yellow after the water, I was like, this thing held up great. Like it's got tons of punch. It's well balanced. It's an awesome dram. And it is.
Mhm.
And when I nosed the blue, I was like, this thing completely disappeared. There's nothing here at all. And I didn't really get much on the nose, and it wasn't very interesting. And then I went in and had a sip, and to me, it had much more sweetness, and there was just a broader width of flavors to go off of. I just found it more interesting.
Okay. Yeah. It's sweet. Much sweeter. Absolutely. I'd agree with you.
I'll let you finish this one out. I'll go next.
Yep.
'Cause this is your wheelhouse. I'm gonna let you'll be the determining factor.
All right.
I'm gonna go with yellow, and I'm not disagreeing with Sean. This one, I think this is our 8th, fight that we've been doing here on King of the Hill, and damn near every one of them have really been interesting. They have gone the ticker. None of them have just been a clear cut, second round knockout. That did not happen in this. I think why I'm going to go with yellow is because initially I'm going back to my first impression of blue with the overpowering cinnamon, And I understand that it's a heavy peated Scotch and that's going to waft off and change. But that first impression, what did we say earlier on the other fight? You never get a second chance for first impression. That sticks with me. Yes, water helped it. Yes, it's enjoyable. Absolutely, I love it. Absolutely, I'm glad I had it. But overall, as much as what Sean said about yellow, I like the fact that what it did good. It knows its fight. It knows its strategy and it sticks to it. It doesn't change its strategy through the rounds. It sticks to it. And in the 9th round, when things are getting hairy, its manager says to it in the ring, stick to the game plan. And it sticks to the game plan. And bam, here we are. So, I mean, honestly, the only thing that I think that maybe it wavers is after water, the late finish on yellow had a little bit more of a brine than I want. But overall, I think it really just stands in there and fights. Fun, awesome. Yep. I love the evolution of blue. It's anticipated with, a very heavily peated Scotch when you see that over time.
Yep. I agree. Both of you are right. In the fact that the blue has arguably a richer flavor on mead. Unfortunately, with water, it loses its peatiness, which kind of disappointed me. It is still sweet. It's still rich flavor, but it's not a peaty whiskey. Yellow, it's all the way. It was fighting really close without water. And then when you added water, it just took off. So I'm going to go with yellow as well.
Oh.
Man.
So yellow wins.
There you go.
I have no idea. I didn't pour it. I have no idea.
Talisker.
Talisker's blue.
Really?
Port Charlotte is yellow.
Blown away. I was completely wrong on what I just thought. Are you serious? Did you do that?
I did that.
Are you sure?
I didn't. We didn't move
Are
those
you
stickers.
Sure? I didn't put them on you. I mean, seriously, you're telling me that this was more peated neat?
It was sweeter neat. Okay, so
I like Talisker.
Let's line up the glasses. So Port Charlotte was blue, right? Port Charlotte was the blue, which lost.
Talisker was.
I'm sorry,
Talisker was blue.
Talisker was blue. Yeah.
That's it. Port Charlotte just took Talisker down, and I really thought that I was saying Talisker was the winner.
So Port Charlotte took down Talisker, and that's a very interesting analysis tonight.
So basically, all new contenders that come into the ring for the peated.
I am blown away. Seriously, dude.
Totally.
I do not believe that was Talisker. There's no flipping way.
I thought blue was Port Charlotte too. I did. I was wrong. I'm okay with
now
that.
smell this. It's super vanilla.
Now go back to the Belvini 12, right?
I mean, it smells amazing.
Oh, tapioca. Tapioca pudding, right? I mean,
and I've got this.
So a lot of people agree,
oh my God. Time out, guys, man.
PC 10s. We thought Talisker had it, but no, it was.
I will say that it was an interesting head-to-head. Like, I could have gone either way. They're both good bottles.
So Green Valley had a call. Changes to water.
There you go.
Nice call.
There you go.
So I honestly cannot believe that Talisker gave me that much cinnamon. There's no flipping way. This is
that is extremely appropriate, Derek. Very nice. I have both bottles in my Scotch cabinet. Both are good, but Port Charlotte is in a higher tier than Talisker.
I'm telling you what, damn good fight. Damn, this is King of the Hill, guys. This is awesome.
That was
fun. Super ass fun. Blown away, shocked, humbled.
Lee wants to do over. Too bad, Lee. There's no
Lee,
do-overs
That's
here.
not the way it works.
Two enter, one comes out.
Yep.
So we're going to take
single
We're
elimination.
going to take Talisker. Oh, unfortunately, the Talisker had the Scotch on the Bayou coin.
We even had it loaded. Lee, we put it on. So here's our winners for tonight. Holy moly. Port Charlotte 10 takes down Talisker 10. We have a new champ, new King of the Hill in the peated category. We'll see if it can hold.
Right.
Obviously.
Wow.
Apparently, that's a tough category, man.
Yeah.
I would not have felt that. That was
honestly.
What's going to be next on that one?
There's a lot of suggestions, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, you know, sooner or later you got to broaden the category to bring other challengers in. But right now, I think there's enough out there that, you know, there's something
And
to
then 10,
step
10
up.
12-year-old peat
Right.
whiskeys, there's a lot out there.
And price category. And let's talk about price category. We'll get into that in the next segment of the show. We have 8 minutes, and I wanted to get into a few things. So
Want to hit this first?
our current champs, our current King of the Hills, blended category, Doers 12. Congratulations. We have a new champ and a new champ in the peated category, Port Charlotte 10.
It's crazy,
I
man.
might
Crazy.
I might want to grab that.
I'm just blowing.
No, I got this. We're gonna finish that one.
Oh, Ben Riak. Yeah, that works.
It just sounds like I got this. So anyway, we're gonna transition into a category we haven't had in the on live in a long time, guys. We got Scotch in the news. There's some interesting things going on in the whiskey or Scotch world that, you know, we haven't talked about Scotch in the news in a long time. First and foremost, I know all of you have noticed Scotch prices or whiskey prices are going up. I mean,
Yeah.
blow me away. Today I was in the liquor store to buy some of these. I wanted to get a Bunnahabhain 12 and it was $75, and I was like, no, I can't do it. I mean, seriously, what am I doing? So prices are going up, but let's talk about what's going on globally. Because yes, we've got our shipping problems, you know, our logistics. We have the tariff issue that used to be. Where are we at on that? I don't know.
They dropped it.
Right. So here we are in the United States. Did you think that prices were going to go back?
No.
Well, and some of that, they may come back down slightly, but a lot of it was just like when the tariffs first went on. We didn't see it in the liquor stores right away because they were still selling through products that didn't have a tariff on it initially.
Yep.
And now we're buying through product that did have the tariff applied.
We need to get rid of that.
And it's going to take time to go through that. So I am kind of curious. No. I'm kind of curious over time, like in the next 4 to 6 months, if we start to see at least some prices. Are they going to go back to where they were pre-tariff? Absolutely not. Are they going to go
We claim inflation now?
Yeah,
That's true. That's true.
who doesn't like
And
inflation?
there is that. But
Are we black and white
we're
all of a sudden?
That's weird
Why are we black and white?
because we're cool. All right. So
I don't think that's the reason.
because we didn't do the updater.
We're
All right.
supposed to be doing an updater. So we're going back in time.
You want to go back to you want to go to India?
This is weird. Why am I black and white? Okay, yes. Let's go back to this.
All right. So
Let's
hold
talk
on,
about.
let me share this. Go back to StreamYard.
So what the point that we want to talk about with prices and stuff and Scotch in the news, if you will. You getting this figured out? Look at Andrew figuring out how to share screens.
All right.
So cool article here, right? Scotch whiskey manufacturers eyeing billion-pound boost in exports to India in 5 years. So let's talk about what that means to you, to me, and who knows, maybe to you that are watching in India. I don't know where you're watching from.
£1 billion.
$1 billion
That's a lot of
pounds.
money.
So technically, right now there is a
150% tariff.
150% tariff on Scotch whiskey to India. Now,
Yeah,
I didn't even know that existed. If you know that existed now, would you be surprised to know that Indian whiskey is a thing and getting popular? And why wouldn't you buy Indian whiskey in India if you had to pay 150% tariff on Scotch whiskey?
Well, and I mean, there's a lot of markets like that, especially emerging markets, that if there's something prohibitively high like that, it really artificially.
But do you know why there's a 150% tariff?
I do not.
That's the most interesting part of this. So, interestingly, when Boris Johnson was the foreign secretary in May of 2017, he landed in trouble when he mentioned whiskey exports to India during a visit. He said there was a possibility of increasing exports of Scotch whiskey to India after Brexit. A lady took offense to his mention of alcohol on the premises of Gurudwara and thus gave a tariff of 150%.
Because he mentioned it, that individual ended up.
And that's why I don't trust teetotalers. Right there.
Yep.
So, interestingly enough, there's so many different angles to why this article caught my attention. Right? I'm like, oh wow, I didn't even know this existed. I didn't know this was a thing. right? What does this mean to Mark in Indiana? I don't know, but I see the numbers and I see that title, £1 billion, right? I'm like, what the hell is that? And then I start to think, what the hell does that mean to me? I was just in the liquor store 5 hours ago and I looked at prices and a bottle of Blue Hop and 12 was $75 and I told them to piss my, no way and not doing it. Is it going to get worse? Because now I don't know. What's this mean?
I'm kind of curious because, that tariff's been in place for a while, but not like decades. It's been 5 years, right?
Right.
So you're talking about an artificial price increase in India. So what were we paying in 2017 for a bottle of whiskey? Right? So I don't know that it's going to affect us that much. I think it'll be good for Scotch producers. That opens up.
If they get rid of the tariff.
That opens up a market for them, and they can sell more. But does that actually affect our prices over here? I don't know that.
It might. Let's go to this next one that Mark had pulled up.
So this is the second article, and it kind of feeds into the first article, right? Are we sharing this?
Yep.
Okay. Yep. It says stop sharing. So Scotch whiskey market size to grow by 18.33 million liters. 18.33 million liters. Now, this is from 2019 to 2024. Okay, so 5 years. In those 5 years, they expect that industry to produce 18 more million liters of Scotch whiskey.
That's a lot of whiskey.
That is. Let's be realistic here, guys. We're talking about an increase of proportions globally. And look at that graph. Look at the center graph right there. Where is this whiskey going?
It's all going to
China,
India, Russia,
some
Australia.
Good for you, Brad Murphy. Love you, brother. Go
back up a little bit because market segmentation by volume. Blends, bulk blends, and other.
So now that's a good point. What we talked about, right?
Bulk blends. So this bulk blends, you know what that is? That's Japan, where they will send trailer loads of Scotch whiskey to blend into Japanese whiskey.
See, what does this mean?
India and other. So this is distillate that producers have in Scotland and England and Northern Ireland and all those have
contracted, basically
put in containers and shipped all over the world.
Right.
Yeah. So
I guess this doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to affect our prices. This is letting the industry know they need to increase their production because there's going to be a market for X number of million liters. So you can go ahead and add that extra still on because we're going to need the extra production.
Do you know a distillery right now that doesn't have plans for another still?
Or is not actively involved in opening up a new, whatever, adding on additional, dunnage house space? Like they're all ramping up production.
Ironically enough, so we looked at this article before the show and we were talking a little bit about, and one of my comments was, I don't know what this means to me at the price on the shelf, but I tell you what it does mean to me. I probably need to invest in the whiskey index. There is an index for whiskey.
So this is interesting. I don't know what CAGR is.
Where are you at? Talk to me.
So there's a comment here that it's going up 1%. So is that volume? It's only going up 1%?
Probably.
That's not that much.
Well, here's the thing.
It seems like a lot with 18.3 million liters, but
the thing that should be good news for everybody is the market is fragmented with several players occupying the market share. That means that
that's actually good, though. I like that.
Yeah.
I do like
There's
that
no
as a
monopoly.
buyer, as a consumer. That's good.
Those that put out good product are going to pull the market because there's not one like dominant.
Even though we all kind of see that and think that there are, honestly, we can name 2 or 3 that were like, man, they're really bullying the market, right? Diageo just. But it is what it is.
Market share by blended whiskey, an increase in demand for premium blended Scotch whiskey.
Well, on the bright side, that means a lot more whiskey consumers, which means more fans, more people that enjoy it, like more people to share with. I don't see a problem with any of that.
Good. So the last thing, and we don't have an article, and I know we're already a minute over. I wanted to mention Brown-Forman purchased Glendronach, Benriach, and I can't think of the last distillery. God.
It's killing me that we're in black and white, and I don't.
I have
understand
no
what's going on
idea
here,
why
but
we're in black and white. What
it's trendy.
I'm glad Drew's not here to see this. He's having
yeah.
a heart
So
attack.
while we were sharing screens earlier, we got a pop-up from Windows that said we needed to update something.
Update
and,
StreamYards.
Yeah, update StreamYards, and we're like, nah,
we're being
right
punished
now.
right now. Right
So
now, we're being punished.
StreamYards told us we're going black and white, I guess. But my comment, what I want to talk about was Brown-Forman purchased, Glendronach, Benriach, and Glengask. I don't know. 3 distilleries over the years, and this happened 6 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Well, lo and behold, there was a gentleman that was the he was the distillery manager over all 3 of those distilleries. I can't pull up the article right now because our keyboard is dead, so I can't type. But that gentleman is retiring after 50 years in the whiskey industry. Okay, 50 years this guy's been in the industry. He has had tutelage under Billy Walker, which he says is the best time of his life. He's passing it on to a young woman who has been under his tutelage, and she's ready to take this on. I thought it was really interesting. I wanted to mention it because these are distilleries. Glendronach is it's known. I mean, it's got a niche.
Great, yeah.
And he's been responsible for managing 3 of Glendronach, Benriach, and the other distillery for the past so many years. And he's retiring. Now, what does it mean? He was responsible for managing those distilleries. In other words, keeping the operations going. So you have people like Rachel Berry, who was the master blender and who is the master blender at Glendronach. She's responsible for bottling. She's responsible for putting the blends together for, this is how we're going to bottle this or whatever. He was responsible for managing all 3 of these distilleries' operations, and think about the management of that. That's
I think they need to hire Dr. Scotch for that role.
Oh, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I would love it, but tell me that's not stressful.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, we're talking about an industry where you have to plan 50 years down the road, dude. You're not talking about next year.
Well, and it's not just like the production from your distillery. It's managing a huge supply chain for barrels and bottles and labels and all of the different rules that go into alcohol production in the UK and then shipping to all the different countries that they have to go out to. That's a huge amount of work. I wouldn't want to deal with all that nonsense.
I wanted
Says the guy that has 3 restaurants.
But I'm telling you right now, like alcohol laws give me a headache because of all of the things, like, do they need rules? Sure, they need rules. Are they equally enforced? Not really. It's kind of a crapshoot. Like, where do you live? Because it's going to be different for you than us. So I can actually kind of like this black and white. I'm kind of digging it.
I wish I had some swing jazz to put up for you, Mike. I would do it. I really would, man. I'm down with that.
I feel like we should have a black and white movie in the background.
Yeah,
Right?
That would be awesome.
Extra, teetotal, twist a tax knife, and Chad, you're great.
I mean,
love you.
I do love you.
So
some good comments. I wanted to raise a glass to that guy. I can't think of his name, and I can't pull the article up because our keyboard's not working. But congratulations to him and some distilleries that I absolutely love. Actually, we're drinking one right now.
Yep.
And really good.
It's exquisite. We're going to kill this.
But it was a fun night of 2 different fights. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I don't know if you're surprised how you feel about the results of those fights, but nevertheless, they happened and it is what it is. We have to respect those. Good night. Had some good things that are Scotch in the news and probably more to come that we've missed that we probably need to talk about because there's a couple of other things that have happened in the last month or so that are worthy of your attention. But man, guys, fun times,
man.
Dude.
Happy Thursday.
Patrons, we'll catch you guys on the post show for a few minutes and see what's going on. But until next week, guys, love everybody. Cheers. Thank you so much.
Oh, wait,
you don't have the outro. Hang on a second. Let Andrew get the outro.
Oh, wait, which outro should we use? Which one? Maybe this one?
3, 2, 2. No, up. Yeah.
That's
You got
the one right there.
No,
Nope, down.
3, 2, 1.